Just like with fishing or with deer hunting, mushroom hunters have to know what time of day it is to go out and find their prey, if you want to call them that. Morel mushrooms are usually highly coveted this time of year, and people are always out looking for them. But just like with any good fishing or hunting spot, you never tell anybody where it is. We're out with a family today as they hit the mushroom hunting here at, I can't tell you where it is now, can I? What is it, first of all, about mushroom hunting you like? What is it that draws you to it?
It's like Easter egg hunting for adults. So it's very magical property to it. So we'll go over the same spot over and over again, you know, day after day, and won't see nothing. But that one day you get there, and they're there. And not that they're just good size and everything. It's like they show up overnight. It's amazing.
How about you, Jess?
Yeah, same thing. It's just the excitement when we find them. It's awesome.
So how long have you guys been doing this?
I've been doing it my whole life. And my dad would take me and he'd step over them, and then I'd say, "Dad, there's one," which Maya did to me the other day because they're lower to the ground. But then we moved back to central Iowa in 2012, and I took Ed out, and he was hooked.
It's true.
I was out here pregnant and in the woods, bending over with each of the kids because they're all born in May and June. So it's been awesome.
Now, before you just go running out into the woods, there are a few things you need to know and some etiquette you need to follow when you're out morel mushroom hunting. And Ed explains, first of all, it comes down to having the proper equipment for gathering those mushrooms. So tell us a little bit about what you do with mushroom hunting. You got the mesh bag. Why is that important?
So the spores can release and be, dropped to the ground. So in theory, it can, repopulate that way. Some people use plastic bags, and it's controversy as far as that goes. You can't release the spores that way, but people do it for years and years and years, and they still go to the same spot and find it. So I mean,
they're kind of a mystery.
It really is.
And for those of you who might be interested in going after these morel mushrooms, you might be asking yourself, where do I need to look in the first place? Well, it's kind of hard to give a definitive answer, but they give you a few options on what to look for.
I would look for pictures of them, like online, to prime your eyes, and then look for dead and dying.
Just get your eye just used to that, and then just go for your walk. Literally on the edges of, where they mow the lawn versus tall grass, they tend to be there.
And dead and dying.
And dead and dying. Elms trees, ash trees, May apples, orchards. They like orchards.
Okay. In fact, the May apples that they mentioned earlier are a great place for them to hide. Jess explains where to look for them if you see a patch of these plants.
So May apples, they say they grow simultaneously. So when we see May apples, we know that the morels are probably up.
Now, would they tend to be underneath, or they tend to be just in the general vicinity?
In the vicinity, but we have found them underneath.
Okay, it's almost like their own little mini rainforest.
Yeah.
Something else that comes with experience is knowing that there may be a few imposters that are not generally morels, but will throw you off if you're inexperienced. Young Mariska tells us the difference, just like a seasoned veteran.
The fake ones look like umbrella. Morels, they go right into the stems, but fake ones, they don't. You can look into them, but on morels, you cannot.
Okay, here, you want to show us the difference between the two? So that's what they look, that's the difference.
Key soil temperature about 53, 54 degrees. Usually when it hits that, they kind of start popping. This year was early. We didn't actually hit those temperatures, and they were popping anyway. So that's the magical part of them.
So now, is there anything that when you're looking for morels that you would say, no, I'm going to leave that one because it's maybe too old or still too little, or is there a size thing that is just not good enough to eat or not ready yet?
That's also controversial as to whether they grow. So we found the little gray ones in the beginning of the season, so we'll leave those and kind of come back to those spots and see if they've grown the next day. And turns out some of them do, and then some of them seem to pop out and just be there. So we don't know.
Okay. So, but when you're looking at them, is there anything, though, that you'll say, nope, pass on that one?
We always take them, and then we actually put them in our wood line, hoping that maybe they'll disperse some spores and grow.
We'll still pick it and kind of scatter it around.
I know there's a moldy one in here. We would probably cut the moldy part off and still eat the rest of it, or if it's too gone, we'll throw it out and hopefully it repopulates.
So just like deer hunting spots and fishing spots, these things are very secretive, just where you like to hunt, correct?
If I told you where we were, I'd have to kill you.
I was
just
told I was
joking.
going to be blindfolded.
He's joking.
He is. I was told I had to be blindfolded and swear on a Bible before I started hunting with you guys.
Yes.
And then if I broke the swear, you would hit me with the Bible. So I get that. So,
All in good fun.
and when it comes down to it, that's exactly what it's about. Having fun with your family and getting out and appreciating nature. It's fun for the whole family, and even little kids can get involved when they know what they're looking for, and they find just as much thrill as adults do when they find that elusive morel. In fact, sometimes they're better at it than we are because they're closer to the ground. And speaking of it being fun and exciting for people of all ages, I can tell you that I have only been out a handful of times with my parents and never had any success. And at almost 42 years of age today, I found my first morel mushroom. It is exciting and all of a sudden highly addictive. We thank the Lozinski family for taking us along to their secret hiding place for morel mushrooms. And I can tell you this reporter is going to be eating good tonight. For the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, I'm Dustin Hoffmann.